Hey friends, and welcome to another exciting day of Let's Playing. Today we're going to be playing E.Y.E, or E.Y.E, Divine Cybermancy, a game that was released by a 10-man company from France called Strium. There's a lot to be said about this game, and I'm not exactly sure how to tackle it all at once. The game has, there's a term, mind, and then a next word that begins with F that I don't want to say online. But it's a mind blow game that the storyline is completely impossible to follow. Not because it's vague, but just because there's so much symbolism and stuff going on that it's ridiculously hard to understand. And also I'm sorry, I should say it's not because it's like so high intelligence and so far beyond us. No, it's just a game that's very like mysterious, and I think that adds a humongous boon to the gameplay. It is a game that takes place in the future. It is a game that's a hybrid, an extremely unique hybrid of first-person shooter RPG that really borders on Dungeons and Dragons with the amount of stats and the way the stats work. There's research and development. You can buy spells, you can buy new armor, weapons. Well, you don't buy armor, but you buy new abilities for your armor. And I'll be trying to explain the game as best as possible as we play. I'm not going to promise it's going to be spoiler-free, because the nature of this game lends itself to repeated playthroughs through the storyline. There are 4 different endings, and technically they aren't even endings, because no matter how many times you beat the game with one character, it's still considered one playthrough. The game never ends. At least, not as far as I can figure out. I've logged over 110 hours into this game. I'm not going to say I've done everything in it, because there is a lot to do in it, and some of it involves completely random chance that just is so minuscule percentage chance. Basically what I'm talking about is item drops. There are 5 extremely rare item drops, 3 of which I have never obtained. That just stuff like that. So I haven't done everything, but I mean, I've put quite a bit of time and thought into this game, and I still haven't figured out an ending. I believe a guy with the username Chef posted a video complaining about the ending of this game, well, the true ending or lack thereof. And I've been trying to prove him wrong, but sadly I can't. It doesn't seem like this game has a solid ending yet. I've actually emailed Strium, the company that made this game, asking them, you know, what does this storyline mean? Is there another ending? Am I missing something? And they have yet to message me back. I doubt that they will. Just doesn't seem like the thing a gaming company would really do for a user. But regardless, we're going to just jump right into the game. Like I said, I'm going to try and explain it as we go along. There's not going to be a whole lot of guarantee that I'm not going to spoil anything here. Just because in order to really explain what's going on, I'm going to have to spoil things that are happening. I'll probably try and just play through the first time here, just without really giving away too much, mainly for your sake, since you wouldn't even understand what I would be giving away. Now, the game starts off with your core stats over here. You reset your character so that your core stats will be, you know, whatever you want. Obviously, you want a lot of greens. We'll just sit here, keep re-rolling our core stats until we get something we like. It's really not too terribly important that you get it perfect. That's pretty good. Get a bit of a miss in our hacking. It's pretty much impossible to roll anything good in Superhuman Reflex. And now we inject ourselves with 3 strands of DNA. Each DNA has a different status boost and a malice. Now, malice is just basically a way of saying penalty. You can inject yourself with something that gives you high accuracy and agility, but lowers your strength and endurance. You inject, you know, like high accuracy, medicine, and hacking. Lowers your strength, psi force, and endurance. The first time you play this game, you're really not going to know what any of these stats do. You can put your cursor on them and it'll tell you what they do. You're still not really going to understand. I guess I could briefly go through here. Suprahuman, it's not super, it's suprahuman reflex. Just the ability to basically dodge attacks. Like, you get attacked and it just totally doesn't affect you. Critical hit, we all know what those do. Strength increases the ability to carry things without being slowed down, as well as your melee strength. Psi force is your spells. Endurance is your hit points. Resistance to hemorrhaging, I think that also increases maybe your stamina for running and things like that. Accuracy reduces your accuracy penalty, as well as, of course, making your guns do more damage. Hacking is your hacking skills. Mental balance is the ability to resist psychological states of fear. It's honestly probably the most useless stat. Oh, when did everything go red again? Anyway. Medicine is the ability to heal yourself. Agility is how fast you run. Health, we all know what that is. And karma, I don't understand karma. I mean, I know what karma does. Karma changes whether you'll inflict a permanent wound. A permanent, I forget what they call them. But it's basically like a head trauma, or you get crippled and it permanently affects your stats. Until near very far into the game, you can begin to remove them from your character. Now, I'm not sure what kind of class we want to play as, because the class that we get is totally dependent on how we act within the game. So I don't know what stats we want to shoot for. Honestly, I think we'll just pick some random things and just roll our character. And we'll get some greens here, and then we'll just genetic fusion it. So it looks like the character we've got here has decent upper stats in the strength, psi force, endurance, agility. Sorry, not agility. And, well, agility's down there. But lower hacking and mental balance and medicine. We could work with that. The problem is you really just do need hacking. See, the problem I run into is I play as a Grey Master, which means I just level up all of my stats evenly, because there's usually a situation in the game where you're going to need every stat, especially if you're playing single player. Oh my gosh, because it's a terrible medicine stat. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we're really suffering a big penalty in our hacking here. Well, I guess we'll go with that. We have lower accuracy in hacking, but we can make it work. So we begin the game in an odd place where dreams and reality intersect. If you would step beyond the portal, the game resumes. So basically it's just telling us this is kind of the central hub of the game. It's a very stylized game, very unique settings, and the environments are just absolutely huge. And for me, this is totally eye candy. I love it. So anyway, yes, we're ramping the steps there. It's trying to avoid them. We see a dead body. It is true that I killed my mentor, and yet I am not his murderer. It's a very confusing statement. It's true I killed my mentor, but I'm not his murderer. It's honestly a statement I still don't understand, despite 110 hours into this game. So we wake up in a strange place with deja vu. We go through a portal, and we appear here, in some random cave. Commander Rimana up there is telling us we seem a little groggy, and that you've finally woken up. He's going to activate our instruction manual, which is the tutorial, but we're pretty much going to avoid that. Basic controls, running, swimming, jumping, things like that. You'll see that pretty quickly the game gets a lot more complicated than just these controls. Anyway, a strange creature bursts out of the wall as we're in this cave. It probably won't be that much trouble. Good headshot to the face and he's down. Nothing in here. You do have a flashlight. Comes very much in handy. Cyber jump to get up the cliff. Yeah, did I mention these environments are huge? Anyway, Romana tells us that we've been located and he's sending in an extraction team. Now, while we ride this elevator, I think it's important to take a look at ourselves. We're not human, or at least not human in the sense that we're used to. We seem to be wearing some kind of Templar armor or medieval style of defense. Yeah, do not fall off of this elevator, because it is a long trip back up this ladder. E uses the ladder. Of course, I prefer to cyber jump and then grab the ladder, because who likes walking up ladders? Nobody. We find a guy called Dutch. You're in bad shape, brother. At least we finally found you. Well, we'll ask him to bring us up to speed. Listen carefully. You have to flee quickly in order to reach our agent at the extraction point. The Federation is aware of our presence, and they have already deployed policemen to search for you. Well, how many of them are there? Just a small squad for now, but don't underestimate them. There should be a strong contingent of looters in the tunnel you'll need to take in order to reach the extraction point. Thanks, but those pigs don't scare me. I brought along a mobile armory with me. It's deployed and operational. Use it and then reach the extraction point. What? You're not coming with us? I cannot. I must retrieve evidence in the cave and then seal that place forever. I see. Good luck, Dutch. Good luck to you too, brother. May the spirit of the Secreta protect you. So Dutch says he has to seal this cave forever, as if it's some horrible place. Symbolically, I think that plays into the game later, but at the same time, really, I don't know what it means. You're probably confused if you've never played this game before, because you're like, symbolically what? You're a walking Templar with guns. This is awesome. Let's go shoot some stuff. So let's actually just do that. I said I wasn't going to bog down the game with explanation the first run through, and here I am already trying to explain everything. Alright, now, the cool thing about E.Y.E is that straight from the get-go, you're allowed to pretty much choose half of the equipment. Might even be more than half of the equipment. Yeah, it's about half. Guns, handguns, submachine gun, shotgun, sniper, assault rifles, heavy guns, including the 500 bullet chain gun. I mean, seriously. They give you this right from the bat. 500 bullets per clip, people. Subtlety is nowhere to be found. However, I do not actually prefer the heavy machine guns. I kind of like the, well, we're going to go with a setup here. We're going to go with a Bosco sniper rifle with a couple of bullets to hold us over. A submachine gun on our right leg with a few bullets, and a handgun on our left leg. There's a lot of guns that we're carrying with us, but it will be useful when we are running out of bullets, in combat and our gun needs reloaded and we don't have time for it. Anyway, Dutch, I don't know who Dutch is. He's never really explained. He seems to be good friends with the main character, though, as will be evidenced later. So Dutch knows us. We've lost our memory. Literally, the player is just as confused as the character in the game is at this point, because they share the same number of memories. Now, these are the Federation. Oh, slipped off there, didn't mean to do that. But this is the Federation. For some reason, they're coming after us. We don't know who the Federation is yet. Obviously, I do. To be honest, the game reveals a bit about them later. But as far as you need to understand now, they're pretty much like the police. They're the giant government force in the world of E.Y.E that pretty much messes everything up because of their government. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. It's kind of cliche, but at the same time it's cliche for a reason, because Everyone loves the idea of a corrupt government. So that was the Federation force being deployed against us, and we're in this strange place with oddly serene music. It sounds as if the music here is an orchestra warming up, and I think it's perfect for the beginning of the game because truly things are just starting to warm up. We haven't seen anything yet. So here we are jumping in the sewers. We can jump in that water, but frankly there's no need to. At least not a need that I know of. We did gain a few levels. We could throw some stats on our character. Each level gains you 3 skill points that you can put anywhere you'd like. You can enable auto EXP, where the game will give you experience points based on how you play the game. I think that's interesting. I'd like to try that someday, but I haven't really done that yet.